and welcome to Deep Dive with DevGuru Networks. My name is Mike Coker. I'm your host. And today I have my good friend, Edgar Lombera.
Thanks, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you for coming. Glad to have you. I'm excited to have this discussion and go through a bunch of topics. In regards to the data center aspect, and this is where EVPN-VXLAN really kind of had its calling, made its name, right? Is in the data center environment where we just need to just like continuously build racks, the automation piece of it. We just want everything up instantly. But now we're seeing it in the campus, right? And so with the invent of EVPN collapse core, right? And so now with like a company like Mist, Juniper Mist, it's basically able to kind of make that an easier deployment. And I laugh because you and I were involved with like a handful of customers that we deployed, gosh, I'm losing my time, but like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, where we were basically finding like bugs in the code as we were doing it. It took 2 months to deploy. And I always laugh when I tell customers these days of like how easy they have it with like Mist and Apstra, because like now it's like, you know, I'm the guy, I had to walk to school both ways uphill in the snow. And now you're just like click, 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 and it's provision. So you can talk a little bit about kind of now with Mist and Apstra, just the use cases of how easy it is to deploy such a complex, because you and I know how complex it is.
Yes.
And there's probably thousands of lines of configuration. And so the use case there of like a Mist and an Apstra, you know, the Mist, obviously the campus environment, collapse core, you know, so it brings that higher end technology, but allows to deploy it in a more campus environment.
You're right. Yeah, you know, you touched on something really important. You know, if you were to just kind of start from scratch trying to understand these technologies, you'll quickly find yourself pretty deep in like a bunch of stuff that you need to learn more about the next thing and the next thing, and you're ever accumulating these. Mm-hmm. You know, commercialized products and platforms like Mist, like Apstra have really enabled the enterprise to harness the power of these technologies without that learning curve, without that kind of technology risk of how complex is it, how hard is it going to be to deploy, how long does it take to deploy, right? I mean, you think about it, you know, any business, we're like, well, it's return on investment. I'm going to buy this now. When do I actually see the benefits, right? And so, you know, those types of solutions are best weighed in the sense of return on investment on everything else that's underlying, right? Mm-hmm. You know, yes, the technology can be complex. I mean, I think it's very practical. It came from a real world, you know, evolution of what's practical at large scale networking. But, you know, it could be a little scary. It could be, you know, there's lots of paths and lots very flexible and nimble, and those could cause problems. You know, products like Mist take very complex elements from, you know, initial deployment to day 2 operations to, you know, just planning ahead of how you're going to move your business forward with this technology much simpler. Yeah. Likewise, Apstra takes very complex services that you need, that your applications need, and make them easier to manage over time at large scale, adjust, add new services. And now you kind of takes that like maintenance element away from the engineering staff. Mm-hmm. The brains that are behind this, that like kind of daily business can just kind of happen in a much more efficient manner. Yep. And those brains can go do something else. Yeah. Something, you know, the next step in the business. Yeah. And that's the way really, the best way to kind of enable those resources to get the most return on their investment. 100%.
And we actually had a customer recently where we went through exactly that. They're buying a couple MX routers, some EX switches, and we're like, all right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do EVPN collapse core. Like, I don't know how to do that. They're like, it's fine. You buy Mist, and you know you'll be able to do it. We don't need Mist. We're not running access points. Mm-hmm. It's like, you don't need access points. It's fine. We're going to run Mist. It's Juniper basically gives it, not gives away, but it's a cheaper software package than even their standard, because they want everybody to kind of be on the Mist platform and see how easy it is to use. Yeah. And so we did that, and basically showed the customer how to do the EVPN collapse core. Click, 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 as everything's cabled. Provision came up, and they were super happy with that, because we just deployed it for them, you know, like very simple.
Right. Let's get that technology risk out of the way, get back to doing the business that we're meant to be doing, and almost immediately start reaping the benefits.